Have the cake unless I really know the cake. Do you have to love the cake to eat the cake? I just need to trust the cake.
Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive 33rd episode of CBS's hit drama, Beyond the Gates. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our weekly recaps. And fair warning, we will be covering everything in this pivotal episode. So this is your official spoiler alert. Episode 33, titled The Reckoning, might just be the most intense hour of television we've seen all year. After 32 episodes of building tensions, secret alliances, and shocking revelations, everything finally comes to a head in what can only be described as a masterclass in dramatic storytelling. So let's step back into Oakwood Estates, where the facades have crumbled and no one's secrets are safe anymore. The Reckoning picks up immediately following last week's shocking cliffhanger, with Anita Dupree standing over an unconscious Bill Hamilton in his study, that incriminating USB drive finally in her possession. Meanwhile, the community is in chaos following the publication of Danny's explosive expose on the corrupt land deal that founded Oakwood Estates and the three-way power struggle between the Duprees, the newly aligned Richardson-Hamilton faction, and Leslie Thomas's surprise takeover attempt has reached its breaking point. This episode masterfully weaves together all the major storylines that have been building throughout the season. Vernon's deteriorating health condition, Nicole and Ted's impending divorce, Martin's redemption arc, Chelsea's betrayal of her father, and of course, the final revelation of what really happened to Marcus Clayton 25 years ago. The writers have crafted an episode that manages to be both a satisfying payoff to long-running plots, while setting up what promises to be an unforgettable season finale next week. Let's break down exactly what happened in this game-changing episode. The episode opens with a powerful montage showing the community in crisis. News vans line up outside the gates. Residents hurriedly pack suitcases, and property values are shown literally plummeting on real estate websites. Danny's article exposing the illegal land acquisition that founded Oakwood Estates has done exactly what she intended, shattered the perfect image of the community. The scene transitions to Danny in a downtown coffee shop, looking both vindicated and troubled as she scrolls through reactions to her expose. The weight of her decision is beautifully portrayed through subtle acting choices. The way she flinches at text messages from family members, her momentary pause when seeing her parents' names trending on social media. When Chelsea Hamilton unexpectedly joins her, their conversation reveals just how much has changed since the pilot. These former rivals have become unlikely allies, with Chelsea having secretly provided Danny with additional evidence against both their fathers. Their complicated relationship, part professional collaboration, part romance, part shared trauma, has become one of the most compelling dynamics of the season. The scene ends with a shocking revelation. Chelsea confesses that Bill never knew she was helping Danny, and she fears what he might do now that everything is exposed. The genuine fear in her eyes sets up the episode's central tension. Just how far will the community's power players go to protect themselves when everything is at stake? In what might be the season's most powerful scene yet, we find Vernon and Anita Dupree in their bedroom, the same pristine, perfect space where we first met them in the pilot. But everything has changed. The room is in disarray, suitcases half-packed, as Vernon suffers another of the increasingly frequent health episodes he's been hiding all season. The argument that follows is devastating precisely because of how these characters have evolved. Vernon, once the community's unshakable patriarch, is physically diminished but still refusing to surrender. Anita, who has been gradually taking control all season, finally speaks the truth they've both avoided, that his corruption and ruthlessness have cost them everything they built. What makes this scene so effective is how it calls back to their dynamic in the pilot. The power has shifted completely, with Anita now the decision-maker and Vernon forced to confront the consequences of his actions. When she delivers the line, "I've spent 30 years protecting your legacy, and you never once thought about what it would cost us," It's the culmination of a character arc that's been brilliantly developed throughout the season. The scene ends with Vernon revealing what we've suspected for weeks, that his mysterious meetings haven't been about business at all, but with specialists for his deteriorating condition. The diagnosis he's been hiding explains his increasingly erratic behavior and desperate attempts to secure the family's future. This humanizing moment reminds us why the Duprees, despite their many flaws, remain the emotional center of the show. Meanwhile, the Richardson household has become a battleground following Ted's shocking decision to align with Bill Hamilton against the Duprees. The scene where Nicole confronts Ted about finding the prenuptial agreement, revisions on his laptop, perfectly pays off the trust issues that have been building since the pilot. Their confrontation is interrupted by the unexpected arrival of Martin and Smitty, who have finally obtained proof of Ted's offshore accounts and financial fraud. The four-way confrontation that follows is a masterpiece of tension, with years of resentments and secrets finally exposed. The standout moment comes when Martin, who has spent the entire season seeking redemption for his past mistakes, stands up to his brother with newfound confidence. His growth from the insecure, conflicted character we met in the pilot to this assured man willing to sacrifice family loyalty for justice represents one of the show's most satisfying character arcs. Nicole's decision to side with Martin against her husband creates a fascinating new alliance that will clearly impact the finale. When she delivers the line, "I'm a Dupree before I'm a Richardson," it's both a callback to earlier family conflicts and a definitive statement about where her loyalties ultimately lie. The scene ends with Ted making a desperate phone call revealing that the Richardson-Hamilton alliance may have a third, as yet unrevealed partner. This perfectly maintains the show's talent for creating new mysteries even as others are resolved. After watching Leslie Thomas operate from the shadows all season, this episode finally reveals the full scope of her master plan. The sequence begins with Leslie in her sleek home office, surrounded by evidence of her methodical information gathering about every family in Oakwood Estates. The arrival of Eva, who has spent most of the season estranged from her sister, creates the perfect opportunity for exposition that doesn't feel forced. As Leslie gloats about how she orchestrated the community's implosion, we get confirmation of theories fans have been discussing for weeks, that she deliberately inflamed the Vernon-Bill rivalry, anonymously provided Danny with initial evidence about the land deal, and has been quietly buying up properties as values plummet. The revelation that Leslie is actually Marcus Clayton's widow delivers on one of the season's central mysteries. Her decade-long plan to destroy the community from within as revenge for her husband's death gives new context to every interaction she's had throughout the show. Eva's horror at the extremes of her sister's manipulation creates a compelling moral contrast. When Eva points out that innocent families will be destroyed in Leslie's vendetta, Leslie's cold response, "There are no innocent people beyond these gates," solidifies her transformation from ambiguous player to the season's true antagonist. The scene ends with a shocking twist, Eva secretly recording the conversation, suggesting she may play a crucial role in thwarting her sister's plans in the finale. The long, simmering tensions in the Hamilton family finally explode when Chelsea returns home to find her father packing to flee the country. The confrontation between Bill, Chelsea, and Naomi brings the Hamilton family dynamics full circle from the pilot. Bill's rage upon discovering Chelsea's betrayal is genuinely frightening, showing a new dimension to a character who has always maintained control. When he accuses her of destroying their family legacy, Chelsea's response, that she's trying to build something honest instead, perfectly articulates the generational conflict at the heart of the show. Naomi's decision to side with her sister rather than their father completes her season-long journey from passive observer to active participant. The moment when the sisters stand together against Bill visually mirrors the Dupree sisters' solidarity in last week's episode, creating a powerful thematic parallel about the younger generation choosing truth over power. The scene takes a dangerous turn when Bill reveals he has evidence that could destroy the Duprees and the Richardsons completely. His ominous statement that some secrets should stay buried, as he retrieves a hidden key, creates unbearable tension leading into the next sequence. Everything converges in the episode's most shocking sequence, as Anita Dupree confronts Bill Hamilton in his study. Their verbal sparring match is a masterclass in tension, with each character armed with devastating information about the other. The revelation that Anita has known about Marcus Clayton's death all along, and that she has protected Vernon despite this knowledge, adds new complexity to a character who has always lived in moral gray areas. Her admission that she's there to destroy the evidence rather than expose the truth reinforces that her primary motivation has always been family protection, not justice. The physical struggle that follows is genuinely shocking, especially when Bill strikes Anita. The moment when she retaliates by injecting him with his own emergency medication, something she knew about through her careful observation of rivals, demonstrates how thoroughly she's prepared for every contingency. The image of Anita standing over Bill's unconscious body, calmly searching for the USB drive containing evidence about Marcus Clayton's death, is chilling precisely because of how far her character has evolved from the polished socialite we met in the pilot. When Leslie Thomas unexpectedly arrives, having apparently planned to meet with Bill, the three-way rivalry that has driven much of the season comes full circle. The episode's cliffhanger, Anita and Leslie facing off with Bill unconscious between them, perfectly sets up what promises to be an explosive finale. Interwoven throughout these major confrontations are glimpses of how the community itself is fracturing. A montage shows residents turning against each other, former friends becoming accusers, neighbors reporting violations to authorities, and the community board in complete disarray. The scene at the hastily convened emergency community meeting provides necessary moments of dark comedy amid the intense drama. Watching these formerly polished, controlled people descend into finger-pointing chaos effectively demonstrates how quickly civility crumbles when privilege is threatened. Particularly effective is the return of minor characters we haven't seen since early episodes, now demanding answers about property values and community standing. This reinforces how thoroughly the writers planned this arc from the beginning. The sequence ends with a striking visual, drone footage slowly pulling back from the chaotic community center beyond the gates themselves to show news vans and protesters gathering outside. The contrast with the pristine aerial shots of the pilot creates a perfect visual representation of how completely this world has unraveled. The episode's emotional core comes from Danny's journey. After setting the community's destruction in motion, she now faces the personal consequences of her actions. The scene where she visits Vernon in the hospital allows for a nuanced father-daughter moment that's been building all season. Vernon's acknowledgement that she was right to expose the truth despite the cost to their family provides the validation she's sought since the pilot. His admission that his compromised ethics began with good intentions, wanting to build a safe community for Black excellence to flourish, adds complexity to what could have been a simplistic moral narrative. When Vernon asks Danny to help protect Anita, despite everything that's happened, it creates the perfect moral dilemma for the finale. Danny's tearful promise, "I'll protect Mom, but I won't lie for her," beautifully encapsulates her character's growth from idealistic whistleblower to someone who understands the complicated reality of justice and family loyalty. The scene ends with Danny receiving a text from Chelsea warning her about Bill's hidden evidence, propelling her back into the central conflict and ensuring that her story remains crucial to the finale's resolution. Every character must finally choose between revealing truth and protecting those they love. The episode suggests there are no easy answers, with even the most principled characters making compromises. The younger generation's rebellion against their parents' values reaches its climax, with Chelsea, Danny, and Martin all choosing different paths than those laid out for them. The episode forces every character to confront what their privilege has cost them in terms of authentic relationships and moral integrity. Leslie's revenge plot raises questions about the thin line between seeking justice and pursuing personal vengeance, with no character entirely free of selfish motives. The performances in this episode deserve special recognition, particularly from the actresses playing Anita and Leslie, whose confrontation scene should certainly earn Emmy consideration. Anita will destroy the evidence about Marcus Clayton, But Leslie has a backup plan that will still expose the truth. 2. Vernon's health crisis will reach a critical point, forcing the family to prioritize his care over fighting their enemies. 3. The Nicole Martin alliance will be crucial in exposing Ted's financial crimes. 4th, Danny and Chelsea's relationship will face its ultimate test when they must choose between personal happiness and family obligations. 5. Eva will emerge as an unexpected hero, possibly stopping her sister from going too far in her revenge. The biggest question remains, will Oakwood Estates survive as a community, or will the finale end with the literal or figurative dismantling of the gates that have both protected and imprisoned these characters? The Reckoning delivers everything fans have been waiting for: explosive confrontations, shocking revelations, and emotional payoffs to character arcs that have been building all season. With just one episode left, Beyond the Gates has cemented its place as one of the most compelling dramas of 2025. What did you think of this episode? Who do you think will come out on top in the finale? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our finale recap next week. Until then, remember, sometimes the most dangerous threats aren't beyond the gates, but within them. Thanks for watching.